Hey everybody, it's me, Jonathan Millard, back with another Big Hype podcast brought to you with our good friends at Hype Energy Drinks, Bravos boxing gloves, protect yourself at all times, and combat tips. And also a preferred charity of choice, of course. Please help boxers in need. So, well, it's a little bit different tonight. Rather than a boxer, we've gone promotion. We've gone promoter. So it's a little bit more different, but joining me all the way from, near London somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm based in Kidbrook, so just near Greenwich.
Phil from DFC, from Don's Fight Club. And Phil, thanks very much for joining us. It's
Thank you for having me, man.
Mate, it's been good. We've been working together for a little while anyway, so we kind of know each other. I'm always very thankful for any work that you give me as well. But I think we'll just start with the same question I've asked everyone, which is how and why did you get involved in boxing?
To be fair, I've always wanted to get involved in boxing. Like from a young age, I wanted to start. I wanted to box myself when I was younger.
Okay,
but my mum never let me because she was worried for me. Yeah,
mum's not best.
yeah. So naturally, obviously, growing up in the UK, you gravitate towards football and stuff like that. And then I think it would have been 2019. It was during the AJ boom. I wanted to lose a bit of weight, so I walked into the boxing gym, and that's how I met Louis. Did some training, had a fight, but I always knew that I could put on half decent shows if I tried. And yeah, like obviously I got involved in the football side of things with SC Dons. And with the media infrastructure there, I thought if we can bring that over to boxing, it could be a recipe for success. And yeah, naturally, the football and the boxing have separated because it's two different brands and they followed their own journey and we followed ours. But yeah, here we are at number 10 now.
We are. You're very modest in respect to what you said there. You said you're just half decent shows. They're very good shows, and the matchmaking is very good. You're putting on some fights that are absolutely fantastic, ones that fans want to see as well as boxing people want to watch as well, because you've had some great people come through there, through there already, and also there's some still to come as well. So I mean, even go back to Luke Palfrey as a prime example, great boxer, now moving on to other things as well. You've sort of helped that career and guided that a little bit through the Don's Fight series as well.
Yeah, of course, because you know what it is, as you would know, if your involvement in boxing, having talent sometimes doesn't mean you make it to where you should make it to. So there are a lot of other factors involved in that. So if we can provide a platform for those who probably haven't pushed on to where their talents should have made them push onto, then we've done our job. So yeah, like Luke Palfrey is actually, I'm having a think. Luke Palfrey's my favorite fighter that I've promoted. Like, there's the infamous uppercut that went viral and stuff like that. So, yeah, Luke Palfrey's my favorite fighter.
I mean, yeah, and that's the talent side of it. I mean, that's the boxer side of it. You've also, I mean, the other side as well. Like you mentioned there, you said about how you took your social media structure from Don's Fight Club, from the football side of it as well. What you've done as well, though, is get Don's Fight Club in some fantastic places. I mean, you've had even Conor McGregor talking about DFC. So are you looking for something like that? Are you looking for, do these things just come naturally? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a promoter, so tell me, how does it work? Tell me how it all works.
You know what it is? I feel like I'm someone who, I believe in God. I feel like a lot of these things have just happened due to God. So like right place, right time, and it's nothing that I've actually planned. All we can do on our side is work hard, try and provide the best products possible. But as you know, having a good show doesn't necessarily translate to all the right eyes being on it. So there are a lot of good shows that probably happen up and down the country that you've probably seen because you're out every week. and they probably don't have the eyes that they deserve. So I think it's good. I think it's good timing. I think we've got a good team. Everyone's pushing in the right direction, and that's always a plus. So yeah.
So yes, you have promoted now. This is 9 shows
Yeah.
under the Don's Fight Series banner. I know you've been involved in other things as well in the background as well with other promotions and other fighters as well. But we are at the number 10. Let's sort of talk through number 10. And is there anything else, any sort of things that you want to bring forward about number 10 for you? I'm gonna guess Marlon is going to be is in the big names.
Marlon isn't actually on 10.
Oh, he should be. He
Nah.
should be.
Marlon should be on 10.
Should be on
But
10.
the thing with Marlon is, and like Marlon messaged me today about his next fight. But he broke his hand on 9, and I don't want to rush him back. And like obviously like as a promoter, you'd always want Marlon on the biggest shows to make it
Of course.
bigger than it is. He does a good ticket, always puts on a show. But I think if I'm looking out for Marlon himself as a brand, you don't really want to cheapen him by having him on every show. So I think that early next year, we'll have Marlon in a big fight. Obviously, Alessandro, who fought Marlon on 9, he's got a fight against Armstrong in December. And I think there are a few things that need to play out in December before we know the next fight that makes sense for Marlon. Because you think if Armstrong goes in there and gets the job done against Getty, there's no denying Armstrong deserves that title shot. I think the main event on 10 is an interesting one. Okay, it's a rematch of Jim Swaysland and Lee Cook. Jim defeated Lee in June, and he was a bit of an unknown commodity. So it'll be good to see how he steps up as champion now and has that added confidence. And also we've got Jack Watson, who beat Luke Palfrey in June also.
Yeah.
And he's got a fight up at middleweight against Brad Fowle, who's a good operator as well, very experienced. I think as a card, this is our best card.
I'm just pulling these things up because I'm a little bit out of touch because you've announced some other ones.
Yeah.
Since I woke up. It is, mate. You're constantly on the track and you're constantly doing stuff and making things. So yeah, so Cook is an interesting one. I mean, in the heavyweight division as well, he's kind of an interesting character anyway.
Yeah.
And he I don't know, I forget what I've seen, like you say, I've had so much, but he wasn't really focused enough, I think, in the last. Was the last fight or the one before? Which one was he? I felt he was like, he just didn't see in himself.
It was DFC 8.
Yeah.
And, I think that sometimes when you don't have like a name in front of you, you can take your eye off the ball a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And where Jim was a bit of an unknown commodity, as I say, like he had won belts on other shows. So I don't want to say he was like an underdog, but no one knew what he was about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the build-up, he came across as very calm and friendly. And I think it was very much like how Andy Ruiz presented himself against AJ the first time.
Yeah.
Just kind of happy to be here, grateful for the opportunity. And as soon as that first bell went, he just started sending the meanest jabs and uppercuts I've ever seen. So I think now Lee knows what he's in there against. And Lee's as determined as ever. He's lost about 2.5 stone so far this camp.
Wow.
Yeah, he took a tick over fight on another promotion a few weeks back. He looked quick, looked sharp, and he looks ready. Jim's fighting tonight actually.
Okay.
On another show, so it'll be good to see how he gets on. And then yeah, all roads lead to December 7th.
December 7th, not far away. You mentioned Bradley Fowler and Jack Watson. Talk us through that one.
I think so it was meant to be the co-main event at super welterweight on DFC 9. Jack Watson went and took a fight on some show in Swindon and got his ribs broken, so we had to pull it and move it to this card. And what they've actually decided, both of them, is to do it upper weight at middleweight.
Okay.
So Jack has the motivation of an extra belt. Brad has the motivation of trying to beat the guy who beat Palfrey. I do think that the extra 3 or so kilos will benefit Brad more because he's more of a fighter. Jack is more of a slick boxer.
Hmm.
But it'll be good to see how Jack can maintain his speed and probably have a bit more power up weight. And it will be good to see if Brad can drag him into a dogfight that he needs to.
Hmm. Again, these are the top three big ones that we've gone through. So obviously, and Gatti obviously is the other one as well. Martin's. You've mentioned that one already. So how do you see how do you see these all going?
Fireworks. That's all I can say. I don't know why Martin's called out Gatti, to be fair, because Martin isn't exactly known on the scene for taking tough fights, but I guess now's the time he wants to step up. So
Never say never,
we'll
mate. Never
yeah,
say
we'll
never in
see.
this game.
We'll see how it goes. Like we've had upsets before, so we can't write anything off. But if anything, he's got a lot more respect from me than he did before he called out Gatti. So yeah, and Gatti's got the bit between his teeth. He's a very pissed off man right now. Wants the quickest route back to Marlon, and he's vowed to send Armstrong's head into the balcony. So hopefully we've got someone up there to catch it.
Jeez. Well, sure someone in the crowd will catch it and,
Yeah.
not fumble the ball kind of thing. Not like, what do you say to that? I mean, that's just oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I think going back to the Marlon Gaddy fight. I mean, Marlon just gave a masterclass in that fight. Gaddy was just, he thought, I don't know what he was thinking, but maybe in my head, I was thinking perhaps he thought it was a little bit easier than it was
Yeah.
going to be. If you talk, that was on 9, DFC 9, which was what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I've slept since then.
It was about probably 4 or 5 weeks ago.
There you go.
But yeah, I don't think anyone's ever seen Marlon look that good. Like I didn't think, like I knew he was good, but I never knew he was that good.
Yeah,
And even Gatti said to me the day after, he said, "I've never seen him like that." Like,
yeah,
um, but what I think it was Marlon had the perfect dance partner because obviously we had like a really extended build up.
mm-hmm.
Both guys were saying a bit about each other and all of that. So Marlon really had a bee in his bonnet to prove a point this time. So that was the most motivated Marlon we've seen. And I hope he can maintain that standard. Because if he maintains it, he's the number one in the country, in my opinion.
It's certainly destined. It's in my mind for certain other things, to go on and try. And I'd love to have him on the podcast to be honest, to ask him these questions because I'd love to know what his plan is, where he thinks he can go. I know he's not, he's been K1 as well, not just boxing, and then Muay Thai as well. So I'd love to have him on the podcast and ask him these questions, where he sees himself going. Where he's obviously explained that to you. You've had conversations with him already.
Yeah.
Let's go in too much into his career path, like you already mentioned. We've got something set for him, so we'll leave that, park that there. Let's just stop there right now. You've got a great couple of others lined up on that fight, John, on DFC 10. We've also got my good friend Mr. Lyndon Coombs on there as well.
Lyndon's amazing. Um, like he's fought on every single DFC show. The only man to have fought on every DFC show. Um, and this year, because obviously last year he stepped in on a week's notice to fight Lee Cook for the heavyweight title in December. Put up a good showing for someone who only had a week's notice for a fight so big. But since then he hasn't lost, and he's won all his fights this year. And he's also gone on another show like a week ago and won a title there up in Burton, where he's from. And he's making some noise. He's saying all the right things. He wants the winner of the December main event. So I don't know how we can really deny him that opportunity. But yeah, he's hit momentum. He's going to be on DFC 10 and hopefully he comes through. He's got another title fight the week after that as well. So hopefully he ends the year unbeaten and with 2 belts.
I was just like, hang on, right? So he's gone away. He's undefeated at the moment. Not fully undefeated, but on a run of wins with
Yeah.
DFC. He's winning championships elsewhere. Surely, as a promoter, how do you think? Well, actually, what can I do with this kid? Where can we put him? Yes, we've given him a fight on this one, and rightly so. Where do you see him going? Does he seem? Do you see him in the title pictures quite soon?
I think he's come on leaps and bounds, and the thing is because he had the title fight last December, which he was very much in. Don't
Mm-hmm.
get me wrong. I think that it was Lyndon gave a showing that no one really expected of him,
Mm.
and it was a lot closer than people thought it would be. Like Lee was winning the rounds, but every round was competitive.
Yeah.
And Lyndon forced Lee to fight. I think Lyndon now is a much better version of the Lyndon that fought in December against Lee. So I don't see why he can't challenge for the title early next year. Um, he's he's faced some decent
Yeah,
opponents as
I
well.
agree.
He had his 2 fights with Danny Cook. Danny Cook came onto the Fight Club with a mad stoppage, and he called out Lyndon. They had their double header. Lyndon
Yeah.
beat him twice. So I don't see how we can deny Lyndon a heavyweight title shot if he keeps winning.
DFC has diversified a little bit over the years as well. I mean, we started off with just the boxing, but we have moved into the K1 side of it as well a little bit with partnership with ICO as well, taking some of those fights as well. You've drafted 1 or 2 fights. Is it 2 fights for DFC? It's 10 yet?
Yes, there are 2 that we've announced. I think there are probably going to be 2 or 3 more that will be announced over the next coming weeks.
How do you find fitting those in with the brand as well? Is it easy to fit it in quite in with the DFC brand, or is it a little bit more challenging as a slightly different product?
Um, the thing with DFC is we 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 like to encourage in not so many words. We like to encourage violence, and um, K1 is violence personified. I think K1 in many respects, especially on DFC, has been much more violent than the boxing. Um, I don't think we've had a bad K1 fight just yet. But I'm new to K1 as a sport. Obviously, Marlon matches that up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I just literally watch it purely as a fan. And I think it aligns with what we do because of the level of violence that's on display.
Do you think it'll become a sort of obviously a mainstay of DFC? Or do you think it actually have its own sort of DFC K1 shows?
Yeah, I think the long-term vision is to have standalone K1 shows, um, standalone boxing shows as well.
Mm-hmm.
And for the bigger shows, we'd merge the 2. So that's what we're looking to do over the next year or 18 months or so.
Sounds like you've got some ideas in the thing. But I mentioned earlier you've been involved with some other boxers as well. We'll park DFC for a minute in sort of the professional game as well. And is this something where DFC might end up being involved more with professional boxing with the boxing board?
To be honest, like my personal passion is the unlicensed scene. It is, I love the feeling of, okay, we've just put on a rock star night
Mm-hmm.
of an event, and we've all got work the next morning.
Yeah.
Like I just love that. However, there's a natural path for DFC because the product is growing, and more people are taking notice of what we're doing here. So we've had some conversations about DFC potentially having some sort of involvement in the professional scene.
Okay.
I don't know how that looks just yet, but I think it's the natural thing to happen, and I can't stand in the way of it just because of my personal preference.
Okay. So we're not ruling out the idea of
I think it's more likely to happen than not. Like there have been some, there have been some very progressive talks with some promoters who are already in the professional game.
okay.
So yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds positive. Sounds promising. Sounds like there's
Yeah,
something on the horizon perhaps as well. So
yeah.
DFC then is a brand potentially going in lots of different directions. Are we looking at doing some other stuff as well, like the MMA sort of side of it, or are we staying away? Are we saying with what you're saying, obviously with boxing, with the unlicensed, as your passion is there?
MMA. So natural. So I'm more of an MMA fan than I am a boxing fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watch a lot of UFC. Um, so but the only thing is, you see, in this country, it's easier to get into boxing than into MMA because MMA is more of a niche sport. Boxing is a lot bigger. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
more talent to accommodate. Um, however, one thing that I don't think I'm too much of a fan of is boxing in a cage or MMA in a ring.
Okay.
So I think when we do step over into MMA, it would have to start as just a standalone product. But I do think that the same way the K1 leans on the boxing as
Mm-hmm.
stabilizer wheels in its infancy, once you have the K1 up and running, we
Yeah.
can build the MMA off the back of the K1 and potentially have K1 shows with MMA fights initially,
Okay.
and then the MMA fights as a standalone show.
And when does it become something that you don't want to be involved with? When does it become that sort of point? Is there a point where you go, actually, I've got it to where I want it to be, and that's it. I'm quite happy. Would you look to move on, or would you look to do something else with other people? Perhaps, well, what else is on the horizon? There's got to be other things on the horizon I don't know about, and we'd like to tell the people about.
Every year, I start every year thinking this is my last. But then, because the stresses of the shows, you see me running around on the
I take my
afternoon
hat
of
off to
shows.
anyone who wants to be a promoter. Let's be brutally honest, mate, because you know what? It's such a tough game. You get in there on the day and you're like, oh, yeah, my phone's just blown off. There's 12 people who've just pulled out, and you're just like going,
Crazy. But luckily we've got a good team around us. But the one thing that I would want is anytime because I'm not gonna do this forever, I'll be honest. But when I do step away, I want to leave it in such a state that the next person who does take care of it can just come in and it's a seamless transition. So I'm not done just yet, but that day is coming. I can't do it forever.
you can, you can. You got to.
No.
It's your
No.
role in life, mate.
But I enjoy it for the most part. Um, but yeah, I just can't do it forever. I want to do other things. I've always had ambitions of going into film. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
How do you deal with the stress then of a show? How do you deal with what's the process for you, sort of from conception? Obviously, we've got another show on the line at the end of the year. You already said you're looking at next year in regards to some other things as well. What's the process for you?
Um, the process in regards to every year we'll book all of our dates in advance of the next year. So right now we've got 4 dates booked in for next year. We want to add 2 more to that to make it 6 for the year,
Hmm.
but the other 2 are probably going to be in different locations to where we do all our shows. So basically, my mindset is I've got a date and I've got a venue. No matter what happens, no matter what stumbling blocks we come across, I have to satisfy that date and that venue. So I don't really have time to be too stressed. I think when things
Hmm.
do go wrong, I'm probably a bit down in the dumps for about 30 seconds, and then it's like, okay, cool. I've got to find a solution. There's no benefit in moping about. So yeah, that's kind of the way that I deal with the stresses, but it does take a toll on you.
Hmm.
It takes a toll on your personal life as well. Um, but if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it. It's not the sort of thing that you can do to the level that we do it if you don't genuinely love and enjoy the game. So yeah.
Sounds fair enough. And So do you apart from just pick yourself up, do you have like a process of, I don't know, like, you know, wanting to kill someone for 5 seconds, and you're like, okay, I want to kill him for 5 seconds, and it's like, what happens in that 30 seconds? What happens?
It's a range of emotions, yeah. So like, okay, for instance, I think I can talk about this now because I'm over it. When Jack Watson went and took a fight in Swindon and broke his ribs and we lost our co-main event, I didn't speak to Jack for like 2 months, like because I felt like, so like there are some things that we can't avoid, but there are some things that I think are not the smartest steps to take, knowing what's at stake. Um, so I was thinking, why has he even taken a fight in Swindon, first of all, against someone who's a good operator? James Surrey boxes up there. But in an instance like that, I was like, I can't speak to him. But then after like a minute or so, I was like, okay, cool, just move it to December. At the time, I was, I wouldn't say I was concerned about December, definitely not. But my thought process was, how do we follow on from 9? Because I knew 9 would be a monster of a show, with Marlon and Sandra. But yeah, I think it's all worked out well, with Jack and Brad being on 10 instead, because I think they would have probably been a bit overshadowed by the story of Marlon and Sandra on 9. So it's good now that they've been moved to 10. So yeah.
So everything's worked out well. That's what you think. In that 30 seconds, there also was a 2-month gap of not talking to him. I like that. 30 seconds of range of emotions, but for 2 months, that's it, mate. I'm not talking to you. Sorry.
I never spoke
leave
to him
unread.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I was angry for the 2 months.
No.
I was just like, I just cannot speak to him. But after 30 seconds, I was like, yeah, we're just going to move them to 10. So, yeah.
I like it. DFC's got a lot going for it, mate, and it's people like yourself that is making it grow, mate, and making it bang. The whole team. I've been loving working with you as well, as much as I can say that to you, and I really appreciate everything you've done with me.
And you're a big part of it. Like, honestly, you're the face and the voice that people see. And I said it on the podcast when I went on before 9. I was like, I know that it's real when 2 men are in the ring, they've made their entrances, and ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. And when that's, I'm like, yeah. Like, you see when Marlon and Sandro in the ring, and you dropped, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, yeah. I had goosebumps. I was like, it's actually about to happen. That's when shit's, because like, this is why I love this game, yeah. It satisfies our deepest animalistic tendencies. We all want to see violence, yeah. And when 2 men have done a lot of talking, and sometimes not all of the talking is even public. Like, I get messages all the time, fuck this guy, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy. So we've heard all the talking possible,
yeah.
And now there's no chance of someone tripping on a cable and falling down the stairs in their entrance. You're both in there, and it's like, yeah, we're about to find out who can back their chat, and you're the face of that moment. So yeah, thank you, man.
No pressure.
You're the best.
Yeah. No pressure.
Just keep doing what you do, man. You're the best.
Mate, I do try, mate. I do keep trying.
You're the best.
Not always possible sometimes, but now you've added the pressure, and I'm just like, I'll sweat now next time I'm in the ring.
Keep doing you, man. And honestly, you get to see a lot of the chaos in terms of changing orders, and actually we're gonna make the DJ play 2 songs and all of that. And you're
I love it when the DJ just looks at me and goes, I'm like, I'm going to mate. I don't know what's going on. Talk to Phipps.
Yeah, but literally, like, people see you, and it's easy to think that you just hold a mic and announce, but people don't see those are the things behind the scenes. And the fact that we're all calm and just in sync makes the show run smoother.
It's all there, mate. It's all good. We're all, all the fighters are there. The last thing that can go wrong, obviously, is, like you say, someone falling down the stairs. hope to God that doesn't ever happen. On their entrance, but otherwise it'd be coming through the main entrance on the flat and on the levels, so they can't do that ever again. DFC shows, if you've not been to them, check them out. Have a look on YouTube. There are some amazing fights we've done. Obviously work mainly in Maidstone, as you mainly said. We've also done a couple of shows in Catford. And where was the other one? There was another one right at the beginning, before my time.
It was in Feverwood in Chislehurst.
There you go. And so find all the footage is on YouTube. Yes, he's nodding. For those listening on the podcast,
sorry, yeah,
you're supposed to.
sorry,
it's all good. It's all fine. It's all right. He's nodding his head. He's saying, "Yeah, that's fine." So how do people get involved? How do people follow the journey if they wanted to get involved now with DFC?
The main way in is to contact the Instagram page at official DFC _, and there are about 7 of us logged in, so someone will pick up your message. That's the way to get onto DFC. We're trying to continue reaching out to local gyms. So if you're in the Kent area, we've probably tried to reach out to your gym. Get in touch with your coaches, everything with your coaches, and then shoot us a message.
Good stuff. Before you go, though, we do have the final round, which I'm going to throw at you. Is it either or questions? So,
yeah.
Phil, are you ready for your final round?
Yeah, ready.
Seconds out, round 1. Southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox.
Body shots or headshots?
Oh, headshots.
Headshots, what did I say? Headshots, train alone or with a partner?
Alone.
Early bird, night owl?
Night owl.
Heavy bag or speed bag?
Heavy bag.
Underdog or favourite?
Underdog.
Boxing gym or home alone?
Home alone.
Home alone. Outdoor training or in the gym?
In the gym.
Okay. Short and powerful punches or long and technical? What do you prefer watching?
Ooh, short and powerful. And powerful.
Fight dirty, fight clean?
Fight dirty. It's a fight.
Loud crowd or quiet atmosphere?
Loud crowd.
Quick knockout or strategic win?
Strategic win.
Okay. And hypothetical question. If this was ever to happen, Anthony Joshua or Fury?
I would want Anthony Joshua to win because of how Fury's dragged him along.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Fury's more likely to win.
Why is that?
I think Fury's a better boxer. I think he could potentially box rings around AJ. And I think he's got the mental strength. That's always been AJ's biggest downfall, I reckon, the mental side.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think the boxing fans win. Whichever way it happens, we get the fight we've all wanted. It's probably 5 years past his date, but, it needs to happen.
As long as we get to see it, that's it.
So.
It can bring some sort of finality. And, looking forward to potentially seeing it if it happens.
Fantastic. Phil, thanks very much for coming on the Big Hype Podcast. We look forward to DFC 10 in Maidstone on the 7th of December. Glad I remember what the date was because I got to be there. It's in the diary, honestly. It is. Although I did give you a bit of a stress the other night about something, and I do apologise. I've downloaded the wrong poster. That was totally and utterly on me. Thanks very much for coming on the Big Hype Podcast, and we'll look forward to seeing your tickets available online now, I guess.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your tickets. Be there. Don't miss it. It's going to be a great night. If your work party wants to come as well, I'm sure just reach out to us. We'll sort out some work party deals for groups of business people who want to come and watch, perhaps builders and contractors and whatever else want to have a party. Come and join us for Christmas. It's great. All right. See you soon. Take care.